What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Stab Night's Flashpoint. It's been a minute if you've been watching all the episodes as they've dropped, but they recently reopened the final mission of the Daedalus block, and so we are here to finish the storyline and retire our high-quality mercenary team. This is my first time seeing the content. I don't know what's in store for us, but let's go. Lilith has submitted the change proposal for the governance contract, and now the timer is ticking. If this is going to work, it'll be within a matter of weeks. What's the proposal? A smart contract like Daedalus block is highly resistant to change. How could one proposal shift power so much? It's a reverse Trojan horse of sorts. If it's accepted and voted in, the change would make it even harder to change the governance contract. It extends all the deadlines and time periods for objections and adjustments, allowed delays and structural votes. So the Ventago turncoats will vote it down. Yes, they will try, but all the previous votes on changes that they have pushed have been won by razor-thin margins. The Mars loyalists of the block will want this change. It would protect them in a way. So it will look like a legitimate threat. The Ventago agents will be counting votes and fighting to maintain their margins. This won't steamroll their future plans. A very small virus just adding a blind spot for a minor code weakness, just enough to miss my proposal's governance code bug. Because of all the governance contract and its rules are all coded into the crypto chain, introducing a change proposal is actually just a proposed set of code changes, which are strictly reviewed, but Terapian & Sons has been having a bad year. They're going to miss this tiny crucial bug. And then we're going to run the table on the Daedalus block. If you succeed, what'll be left of the Daedalus block when it's all over? No matter how good you are at hiding, the Boston Zone won't be safe for you anymore. Nothing about this will end the civil war with the Ventago inside Jupiter. I'm going to say that one. When Mars and Ventago signed the merger, they signed a devil's bargain. They are like two dragons stuck in a bottle. Neither is strong enough to kill the other, but they can't stop fighting. But they're running Jupiter well enough that Megacorp is holding its own. True, neither of the dragons wants to inherit a ruined kingdom if they can get the upper hand. The wars become more contained, more focused. They're hiding it better, and if an external threat looms, they come together to protect the Megacorp for just long enough, then they go back to backstabbing. The Daedalus block is not big enough to stop the Civil War. If it fell into Ventago control, it could do a lot of damage. If you succeed, what will be left of the Daedalus block when it's all over? No matter how good you're hiding. Okay, I guess we get all of them. That's good to know. If you succeed, what will be left of the Daedalus block when it's all over? The block has started a shield, a way to protect our voting rights and our families. The block has become a death trap. Too many have died in it. The best thing we can do is free them. So you'll break up the block. Once the block is destroyed, Ventago would have to go after individual shareholders. They'll be worth nothing compared to the block's forced majority vote. You never guess the question, do you? You never answer the question, do you? Oh, true, yeah. That's... Well, I mean, technically what's going to be left of the block is... it. Yeah, okay, sure. No matter how good you are at hiding, the NBZ won't be safe for you anymore. Certainly, I won't be able to stay in this city, but I'm not sure anywhere will be safe. Our enemies have a long arm. I've determined that the safest move will be to get off-world. I've made arrangements for an immediate departure to one of the near-orbit space stations. Straight to a Gleamer. Yep, a Gleamer indeed. But I won't be able to stop there. I will take transport to the colonies on Mars. I'm making preparations for you and some of your team to join me. You know I need protection at every step of the way. Really, I need more than protection. I need someone of your caliber I can trust, especially on the outer planets. I will make you and yours rich and powerful if you agree to this partnership. Ah, she's going to take us to Mars. Wow. All right, well, we're ready. Tell us when it's time to cast your vote. Excellent. I will need you and your crew. It is a time of patience and preparation. Big changes are coming. Within 2 to 3 weeks, Lilith will return with the critical mission to pull off the final Daedalus block heist. Let's keep ourselves occupied. We also need to stay prepared as the heist. Okay. Lilith will give us a clear 1-week warning before the job, and the job will be on a tight 24-hour timeline. Okay, so I'm going to end up ending the recording here then, and you'll see basically a jump cut, and we'll be back with the mission itself, so I will see you there. Alrighty, welcome back. The amendments and arguments to my proposal are winding down. The final vote is coming. Be ready. Lilith has added a timeline event. When it expires, the final Daedalus block mission will be added. The mission will have a 24-hour timeline. Must be sure we are prepared to act within that window. Alrighty, so that means the mission is going to be here in 7 days. And so let's just make sure we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward the timeline for this to happen. Shouldn't be a very big deal. I'll do a random safety save in case I somehow screw this up and am not in the right place for this. I don't know why that would happen, but whatever. Let's go ahead and fast forward here. There's a loot mat that I'm not going to bother with right away. Some favors is kind of nice. Eventually giving him more influence for the Rook prototype weapons is useful, for sure. I care about that. Otherwise, though, whatever. We'll let that expire. I don't really care. Alright, one guy detoxing is done. Who else needs to get detoxed? Secondary hacker can detox, because we'll keep the primary hacker ready to go. Let's see who else wants to detox. It's going to be... is Rana going to go on the mission normally? Let's see. Who would I normally send, basically? I'd send my gunslinger. I'd send my cyber knight. I'd send my hacker, most likely. And then I would probably send the primary sniper here. So yeah, she can go ahead and detox. Maybe I can buy leverage for it. I guess we'll have to see, but... he's done detoxing. Great. You're in a pretty good spot here. I'll go ahead and send you, because why not? Here's a mission you're going to offer me. Okay, great. We're going to spike a CPU. Okay, it is time for this. The final objections and structural votes are almost done. It is time to prepare for the final drop. The final vote is coming. Be ready. Oh, right, when it expires. Okay, well, we restarted the dialogue. It's still the same thing. Okay, fine. When it ends. All right, well, let's save ahead of it starting. Here we go. That's where we're going to do it. Let's rock. The time has arrived. It's all going down tonight, one way or another. You've had my back through it all. I know you can carry this to the end. But this time, your life is on the line. You've risked your life so many times already, now it's my turn. The proposal is in its final hours of voting. As it stands, it will fail. Ventago thinks they have won. But they don't expect us to land on a Terrapian in Sun's rooftop, and me to drop over 200,000 votes on the scale. That's 28% of the entire Daedalus block. I've spent years secretly accumulating shares, but you've been the accelerator. Right, yeah, because of the girl that we siphoned shares off of on the table a mission or two ago. Yeah. But they will be swift to react, which I expect they will have heavy hitters in the building before my work is done. Everything rests now on keeping Lilith alive through the voting process and up to extraction. The fighting in the final stage of the job will be heavy. We'll need to be sure we're ready to protect Lilith to the end. The Meteoric Hotdrop is ready to be planned to the Command HQ. Sure, we'll pretend that we're going to go off-world with her. We'll start with that one. I've made preparations for our ascent into space. I will go first, and you will follow after. If we agree to join Lilith, we will have time to wrap up our affairs. The shuttle will wait 30 days, and then we can retire. Okay, cool. Retirement will always be a choice. You can return to the streets. We can return to the streets and keep heisting. Okay, here we go. The Meteoric Hotdrop. That is what we care about. Let's go ahead and save and be ready to rock this mission. Let's see what there is in this. It is combat required. Looks like it's a 2-phase mission. There's an orange host we can hack. It's a bodyguard mission, which makes sense for phase 1. And then phase 2 is going to have more. Of course, Lilith will pay us. She's already full influence. Requirements of the Cyber Knight. We'll buy the Matrix Stoop, because of course we will. Why wouldn't we? We have a favor with somebody. I'm not going to burn one of the favors of Diego. That's fine. Although, yes, getting a diversion would be kind of cute. We get 5 mercs. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. That's kind of nice. And then I don't believe we can get any new leverage for the second one. Yeah, I don't think it does anything. Okay. We're going to bring 5, though, which is cool. So the 5 are going to deploy. Let's just kind of remove everyone and kind of start from scratch. CK is required. We're going to bring the hacker. We're going to bring Raze. We're going to bring Code Bloc. There we go. And then... do we want to bring a stealth class? Do we want to bring the Scourge? Do we want to bring a secondary soldier? Obviously, we have a lot of guns here. We don't need a stealth class, but we could if we wanted to. So, like, we could bring Panzer and feel good about something like, you know, having Jam Kit and having some other tools there. So I'm kind of digging this. So I'm gonna say we're just gonna go kind of loud here. We're gonna have you go. You know, you have the initial loud. There you go. We're going to have you have the second loud kit, which is going to be there. I'm going to have you run the first loud sniper set, because you actually have a sniper rifle. And I chose to re-spec him a little bit here. So his actual, I believe, class setup is sniper heavy. So he's got nest and everything else here, so he's going to be pretty strong in that regard. That's going to be fine. We're going to have you run the, well, one of you two. Let's have you run the third loud loadout, which should be pretty decent. Yeah, okay, someone else is holding that stuff. That's fine, though. You're going to hold this stuff. So that's all going to be yours. And then you're going to wear the 4th loud setup, which I can switch the armor over to Cobalt, shouldn't be a big problem. That's fine. Okay. Is the spare armor loose? Yes, it is. Okay, great. Alright, so everyone's loud. I think I'm going to go ahead and, even though I've already said everyone's loud, I'm going to switch out and put silencers on. And, you know, if we can be quiet, we will. That'll be nice. If we can't be quiet, that's okay. But I shouldn't really need to use these SMGs for much regular damage, so it's not too big of a deal. But just putting the big silencers on. I'm using my hacker last in this regard because he's not going to need... He'll be hacking some, so he's not going to be able to shoot as much. I don't believe there's like an extra eagle sight sitting around. I'm going to sort by gear and make sure. These 4 are going, you're going. Don't care about the shotgun, don't care about this stuff. Yeah, everything looks fine. There's no like spare good assault rifles, so not a big deal there. And you're going to get a weaker silencer. That's fine. I mean, I could buy another one, but I don't really care. It's not a big deal. Steel shots are quiet in the first place. So cool. We've got, I guess, yeah, you got a slightly... Okay, I'm going to have you switch the pistol out for a slightly weaker one. I'm going to have you just park that. You're going to go here, and you're going to run a better pistol. You're going to run the steel shot instead. Okay, I need to move the silencers and stuff around because the steel shot's actually kind of loud, and so I want to make sure we're using the better silencer on it. So taking a little bit of time here on the setup. Apologies for that, but I didn't realize my setup wasn't in kind of the right, I don't know, space here. We should be fine now, though. Everyone's wearing pretty good gear. We've got the 2 big SMGs, got the 2 big pistols. We've got the small pistol here. I'm going to go ahead and retrain her real quick to make sure she has things like Glasswalker. So I'm going to respec you. I'm going to go primarily here. I'm going to max out Glasswalker. I have a bunch of points here. I'm going to go ahead and max out Jam Kit. And then basically with my 5 talent points remaining, I'm probably just going to put a lot into Lure here. I think, yeah, Lure is kind of my favorite for this one. I could try to go into Refract, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get just barely onto Refract here with the 5 points. Actually, I have 9 points, sorry. So I have a lot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I lose cooldown and I lose range. That's kind of okay. I'm pretty willing to do that. I think it's a pretty solid look. Refract is a really good combat talent. I think I'm going to go that way. And then I want the AP cost, and then we're just going to go here. This should be pretty decent spell overall. Should look decent. I could have gone this way instead of going through here, right? These 4 points instead of these 4 points. Arguably sounds the better 1-point wonder. These are pretty solid, but it's fine. I can find a use for Synapse Short. On any crit, lower accuracy is acceptable. Lure has like use even if it's just rank 1. Alrighty, it is time for a 2-part mission, and let's see what we've got going for. Oh, sorry, before we go, I forgot I have leverage I can buy still. Field Op Center, Meteoric Hotdrop. I'm not going to push it back. I will get this because it pops every stage. Passive leverage each stage. I get both. That seems really, really good. I'm not seeing any other passive leverage, so no way there's any other choice here. For the hacking station, there might be a hack to do on the 2nd stage here. So we'll give him some active leverage. Reducing the tally doesn't really do anything because it doesn't under level it, so it's not that useful. You just re-hit the escalation again. So, well, if I spike the CPU, that might matter, and I have to re-escalate through that. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see what happens. Whatever. I've got spare tokens. Who cares? We'll see how it goes. Anyway. It is time for the Meteoric Hotdrop. We're going to make some money. We're going to run 2 stages, and I have no idea what it's going to look like. Here's our squad. Let's get it. Here we are, touchdown at last. Never had the chance to see your work. Impress me. We've got to get there. There's no way our sudden arrival isn't going to set off the wrong kind of alarm bells. With the final vote hanging in the balance, Ventago will be swift to react if they know I am here. Let's get off the rooftop as fast as we can. If we reach sec level 3, or are still on the rooftop on turn 6, we should expect more trouble. Okay. Let's try to go a little bit fast and quiet then. That's totally fine. 4 per turn. That means every 3 turns we escalate no matter what. And sure, let's be kind of smart about that. We've got basic guards here. They are PL10, I believe. We can double check our difficulty levels. Yeah, they're 1.5x health, so pretty normal stuff there. Looks like that's what? Close to 260 something health baseline, something around there. Actually, it's a bit above 300, but it's like 330, something around there. Anyway, yeah, okay, so looks like all just basic guards. We could go for the boxes. We could go for the Matrix host. I think there is one. going to try to spot it because I want to see if I can greed for loot or not. Obviously, I don't need to do all of this, but, like, you know, I do like free loot. It looks like there's no host from what I can tell. We played this map before, and the host was here, but we had started over there. Okay, so what kind of path do we want to take then? This is a camera. It's not actually that far. It's not going to catch us if we go this way. If we go this way, we have to go through this pressure plate or this camera. We have a vanguard, though, so it's not a big deal. Let's see. If we go this way, we have a pressure plate to kill. We have a camera to kill. And we pretty cleanly walk by 3 boxes. That fourth is going to be a little bit of a stretch. And it's going to be pretty easy to loot all that. We can probably get out turn 3, maybe. Turn 4. That would be decent. This guy's a little bit scary. I have look ahead. Let's find out if he's going to see us or not. We can also catch this guy, which is convenient. You are not moving, so I can ignore you. That's good to know. You're standing still, so you don't really matter either. If I go through this way, I only get 2 boxes. So maximum loot says go that way. I'm curious what the game thinks is the fastest route in general. And looks like it's just right there. Actually, you know what's funny? We might have enough AP with Tactical Surge and Coordinated Charge to get everyone out. So I know my Cyber Knight with Tac Surge will make it. I mean, I'm just going to pop the button anyway because, of course, I will. So with Tactical Surge, just Tactical Surge, the CK, I mean, will clearly, yeah, I mean, literally makes it. But of course, that's without Coordinated Charge. So I'm going to have you wait and do nothing. I'm going to have Raze throw down Coordinated Charge. Now, worth noting that Trigger Vector costs 1 AP that gives 2 move points, so it's always positive. And so he would make it with 1 AP to spare. I didn't check if my sniper could go. That was a bit of a mistake. Are you fast enough? Yes. Okay, the Vanguard would make it. Lilith, would you make it with +2 AP? Yes. If I use go, 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 she makes it. Okay. Does my sniper, or does my hacker make it? My hacker does not make it. So he is unfortunately too slow. And so even though I have 15 action points, that is not enough action points to make it out. Okay, so I have to at least take 1 turn actually playing the game. Darn. Okay, fine. I don't want to raise undue alarm. And again, we know what you're doing. And I mean, I guess I can check over here what these guys are doing. He's not going to run that close. Okay, he's running over there, which is honestly fine. You're both going there. Okay, so they're targeting me over there, which means he's going to run this way and like likely bypass. All right. Yep, you're going to keep waiting. Because again, we know we're not making it out, so we just do all the delays. It's fine. I want to be a little bit careful around who delays how far, because I want to make sure I can jam kit everything correctly, but we'll just delay, let the guards go. Here we go. First guard, standing still. Expected. Okay, Panzer. Yeah, we just gotta let these guys go. So, here they run. Patrolling over and then down. You shouldn't see us. Yep, correct. You turned back, which I didn't remember or realize was happening, but not the end of the world. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I need to greed all the boxes, but... And I also, actually, ideally don't want to shoot them all. The tough thing is you almost... Well, yeah, I think this box doesn't block enough, and so he will see us, and so there's... Yeah, real considerations to be made. Alright, so unfortunately I can't yield far enough down to not get spotted by Panzer. What I could try to do is go for shots here. This isn't the best idea, but I don't have much else to do is the thing. So I'm tempted just to have her run up and like shoot some. I mean, she's really bad at shooting though. Like there's not really a point. I also can't yield below anyone but Code here. I'm going to yield for now. Have Code go. I'm going to have him knock this camera down so that at least someone can do something. Tough thing is I'm in audio range of 5 people, and there might be more on the map somewhere else, right? That's kind of the tougher thing, is that it is very likely we're going to run into more here. Also, I didn't precast something like JTAC or Strike Zone to get more damage out here. So I'm just going to run here. We're probably going to get seen. It is what it is. Yep, he saw us. There's a lot more guards here. Now, it creates 2 tally per shot no matter what. So like if I go here and shoot this guy, I'm going to generate 2 tally. And I shoot it again, I generate 2 tally. And if we can clear the entire map, then, hey, there's no more tally. You're generating 1 automatically from seeing people. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot, and we'll just see how it goes. It's going to generate a lot of noise. He's going to have a decent amount of, yeah, pretty much worse actually now because of the recoil. Doesn't get many kills here. You have a little bit of spare action points. I'm going to use that to actually go for a little bit of damage. Actually, no, I wanted to knock this camera down. Let's knock the camera down. And then I can only shoot one of these 2. No, I can shoot a lot of people. Okay. So this first shot is going to miss, but I'm going to get my recoil back from focused fire, and so it's going to be fine. First shot misses. That's fine. Second shot's going to be really accurate. Don't quite kill. It's okay. Okay, Lilith can actually probably get a kill or two here. Let's see if we can clean these guys up with her, like, mediocre gun handling. That's going to be half decent. We get one. I'm going to switch to single target here. Let's go off of that. So I'm going to get my recoil back after one shot. Well, that actually is fortunate that I hit. That's like really low chance. A couple of coin flips. One of them's bound to hit, right? That's how chance works? Yeah, great. Has some spare move points. And she's not going to grab the loot because she can't reach anyway. Actually, she might grab the loot because she's going to be the best runner. I'm going to have her do that. She doesn't have a useful gun otherwise. I'm going to put her there. It's fine. So there's a lot of noise because of, well, I mean, a lot of escalation breaking, a lot of noise. We're winning on initiative, but I kind of want to actually kill everyone. That's going to be tough. We might just have to suck up the fact that we made too much noise here. So the problem is I can't clean this up very well. Okay, I need to yield so that I can use JTAC. This will help at least. Alright, so JTAC from somewhere around here means lots of kills. Strike zoning. Oh, I can't strike zone them. Okay. I could nest and get some pretty good damage here, but I can only shoot one guy right now. I can iron grip to start. It's going to be really loud, and we're not going to clear up everybody, but I think this is one of the best uses of sniper rifle to have. First shot, 2,000 damage crit. Okay. Fine then. Yeah, there's no way I can clean those guys out, so we're just going to have a bunch of noise. And, you know, I said I wanted to be stealthy. Turns out I really don't. Oh well. We'll kill who we can. Let's go ahead and nest. Yeah, basically everyone gets one shot. I'm going to go ahead and kill you with, not Rapid Raid, it's the other one. With Skull Shot. Get my action points back. Great. I have 2 more shots here. Yeah, you over there still exist. You're not accurate for me. Likely kill. Good job. And we have 1 more shot. This likely works. Good job. Of course, a lot of noise. At this point, we know these are all the guards who are alive because there's no way no one else hears this gunfire. So we may still drop all the bodies. That'd be nice if we do. I need to run you pretty far to get this kill, but you're one of the best ones at it. You don't generate recoil from moving. And if I stand here, I have line of sight on both, which is actually pretty good. So that'll be my play. Is clean both those guys up, which should be decent here. I have enough AP to, like, shoot pretty well. That's looking pretty good. I think you're dying. You're probably going to die afterwards, but you're the first one. I have, by the way, I have retrained to have recoup, but not savagery. So I don't get the infinite bonus damage, but obviously my upfront damage is very good from trigger vector. And of course the assault rifle is doing good. So yeah, these are the highest level corpo base cards you can get with the current difficulty settings, and no big problem. That thing's still underground. They'll fix it one day. It's fine. It's early access. I don't really care. Okay, let's have you run and join the team, and help pick off a kill, because that just seems reasonable to do. There's only 1 guard left, far as I know, and looks like he'll be dead. So more of the same, where we just are very overpowered for these guards. I'm not going to go ahead and use marker sights. It doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, so Panzer's going to have high move speeds. So he's going to run and grab some loot here. Actually, let me double check move speeds here. So you have a total of, where's your move speed stat? 39%. The Cyber Knight has a total of 62. Okay, so the Cyber Knight's going to be the one grabbing boxes because she's actually the best runner on the team. Which means the Vanguard's going to run to there. Should be no problem. This is going to be an easy kill. I'm just going to go single target then. Down you go. Alright, I'm going to have you turn off a bunch of devices here. Looks like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and knock that one down. We'll run up here. We'll knock that one down. Yeah, so we're back to no escalation. And ideally, we can get the entire team to actually evac next turn. I think it's unlikely. I think it'll require at least 2 turns of running. But it would be nice to be out during turn 3, although I'm not highly confident that we'll be able to do so. Still, though, we'll do what we can. But like most of these guys are going to only have like 7 AP next turn with coordinated charge, and that's it. So we're not going to get all that far. Oh well. I can use Rewind, but I can't use Rewind on myself. It's not like I can... Oh, yeah, and it turns out I shouldn't have put her there because my CK can make it, but I didn't know at the time. Oh, well. I couldn't delay further at that point anyway, so it is what it is. There's a box. That box has been grabbed. I can go ahead and grab this box, no problem. Looks like, yeah, standing there is fine. All right, well, phase 1. No big sweat. Right, lake game damage is very, very high. Cool. Seems fine. We'll see if we get a post-turn 1 complication. 4 tally as expected. No big deal. And... no complications. All right. So you're over there. I'm going to go ahead and turn you off because I can. And I still have a decent number of action points. I could have thought about rewinding someone like Lilith and giving her more move speed. That would have been actually pretty decent. I'll turn you off for now. I know I can make it if I want. I'm going to wait to see if I need to, actually do that. So I'm going to run her here. And then, yeah, next turn I'm going to... basically, I'm going to pop Rewind on her so that she can run with extra move points. And or doing it on the soldier. But I'm going to run you all the way over there. This camera is down for this and the next turn. This camera is, real, so we got to be a little bit careful there. But yeah, we can run a lot of the squad very far forward. Looks like we're not running over any cameras. We're close to the loot. That's good. As long as we're, not near this camera, within, I think it's, 12 meters or so? No, 18? No, oh, shoot. I forget base camera. No, base camera is, 11 or 12. Yeah, so we get most of the team here. I want to make sure I'm in a coordinated charge range. Everyone can run forward from here. These guys haven't had their turn yet. Lilith has, actually. Okay, I want to make sure I'm in range of Lilith, then. So around here is easily in range of her. Okay. So if I go a little bit farther, like here. Is this in range? Yes. Okay. So I can stand there, and that's going to be pretty reasonable. I will rewind both these characters so that I can use both those buffs. That should be pretty decent. I'm going to have you go ahead and end your turn right now. Panzer can make a lot of forward progress. In fact, I'll have her grab loot because it just seems pretty safe. Well, we managed to get all but one loot box. It's kind of nice. Don't mind that. Oh boy. This is some good stuff. Sweet. I'll have you end your turn. I'll leave you on the map just in case we need you for some reason. He's going to have... he's going to be okay with coordinated charge next turn. Looks not horrible. Alright, you're going to run straight forward. And again, this camera is still down thanks to the Cyber Knight, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So that's you being done. And let's go ahead and put Rewind on the... on Lilith, so she can use her move speed buff again, or move point buff. And the other one's going to be Raze here, who's got coordinated charge. And then I can take one step forward, because I can. There's no downside to it. Oh, I should have thought about using pre-speed advantage. It's +1 move point. I can use it next turn, though. Shouldn't be a big problem. Alright. Any complications on turn 3? No? Okay, cool. I'm going to have you wait. Make sure the team can go. I'm going to have you evac. I'm going to have you evac. Raze can throw down coordinated charge. Then you're out. Okay. Pretty good. Obviously our damage is great, and so it wasn't too hard to get through everything. Lilith makes it without using her special abilities. That's fine with me. I think without either one it would have been close. The coordinated charge, move point, and move speed were pretty relevant there. Obviously she had +1 move point, but the move speed might have gotten her over the edge. Alright, phase 1 complete. No big deal here. It's time for phase 2. We managed to be pretty quiet, which is nice. We'll be on the same floor as the terminal soon. We'll need to complete a whole series of votes. You've got to buy me time. We'll need to reach and hold the central terminal while Lilith Limebeer completes her work. Okay. Yep, here's the 6 of us. Time for the medical center. The office floor of the Tropian & Sons is secured against intrusion, but we need to cut through its defenses to reach the voting terminal rapidly. From there, we can expect powerful enemy forces to arrive in waves and attempt to stop and kill Lilith. Alright. There it is, the terminal that holds the keys to our future. Okay. Dropping deep into the building on that elevator has bought you some breathing room. If you can keep your head down as you make it to the terminal, do it. No, we can't go slow now. The timing is too tight. I have to get there and cast my votes before the window ends. She has to get there before the end of the 6th turn. Once they reach the direct line, I will need time to execute my votes. How many separate votes are we talking about? Well, first I'll finish the smart contract changes and inject the bug that we coded in. Then things are going to get exciting. Once we've reached the terminal quickly enough, Lilith will need to access the terminal once a turn for 6 turns. So we can leave and come back, it looks like. Lilith can move away from the terminal. Oh, yeah, indeed. And the turns do not need to be back-to-back, but you can only reduce the turn count by exiting the terminal. Then it will be time to find your extract. Okay. Cool. Well, we don't know how many guards there are just yet. In fact, he's the only guy who can act at all. So it's probably just going to be, let's go run fast. A nice thing is we get a lot of action points here. Tactical Surge to start. Of course, want to throw down Coordinated Charge here as well. There's Coordinated Charge. Let's put down our Trigger Vector. And I'm curious if we can make this actually kind of stealthy. So I'm going to try to go for some... So our fastest route is through here. I don't want to go through that laser. I mean, I guess there's a laser no matter what happens. So... yeah, it's like, can we bypass more guards going this way? Maybe potentially, right? This is kind of the same as doing that. In fact, it looks to just be strictly better. So ideally we go this way, which means we can maybe bypass him entirely, which would be kind of cute. Let's see what that path looks like then. Let's kind of go piece by piece. And we're going to have our soldier be kind of the primary scout. He's not going to go for loot. He's going to find stuff out for us, and if he needs to fight, he'll fight. We can easily delay. He's at 14. Okay, a lot of guards here. They're all basic guards, though, which is kind of chill. Yeah, this gun is going to be very loud. Now, we could go for quieter gunfights, right? And knock these guys down, kill them with SMGs. He would hear the gunfire, have to knock him out, but we're probably trying to go this way anyway. So we could try to go like this. This would kind of work. This guy would obviously be a problem. Now, worth noting that if I run up to here to shoot him, he's going to hear the gunfire. So this guy covers him, and this guy covers him. So you kind of got to kill all three of them. Because there's like almost no way this guy's not going to be a problem. So we can maybe dodge him. That'd be kind of cool if it happened, right? It'd be kind of cute. But I think these three are non-negotiable. But if I can not wake up the rest of the squad, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think what I want to do is run out to a spot where I can shoot at them all cleanly, which is kind of here. It means I also want to use JTAC when it's happening. So I'm going to delay. Yeah, I'm going to at least run to here because I know I'm going to run that far up at least. And then he's going to, kill those guys, no problem. We can get this building at that point. So, okay, you're fine where you are. That part's fine. I can actually put lore down to make him, like, run into the wall. So I can, like, really just keep him from doing anything. I can also use things like refract here. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable about that. Nothing in that room, it's fine. You're my worst gun user. So I'm going to have you largely be focusing on turning off devices and using things like refract. In fact, I might just refract here at the, pretty early on. And just expect it to be useful. But I also should have used anticipation. I think I walked too far. Yeah, I'm not quite in range, darn. Okay, that's my mistake. Either way, I'm going to turn that off. And then I'm going to keep waiting. Right, again, the only guy who's moving is at 14, so I can chill for a bit. I'm going to have you pop this. And then all you have to do is really activate the thing. So, part of me is like, well, what if we just ran through everything and didn't care? Because, that'll be functional. It's not really a problem. So I'm just going to, yeah, I think I'm just going to run her through, and, the guard's going to see me. I just don't really care. Because we all have turns before the rest of the guards do. You see me, I don't really care. I'm going to have you crouch to not trigger the motion field sensor. Spend the 1 AP to get around the corner. Come on. This might not magnet. It's fine. We'll see if it does. I've waited years for this moment. Nice, it works. The timing is perfect. We're here just at the right minute. The voting is closing. The proposal is about to be rejected. Except, let me just dump 200,000 votes on here. The vote is closing. The crypto chain is being updated with a new governance code. It will be live very soon. What now? What is the bug we injected into smart contract let you do, Alicia? Wait, that's not her name. It is a trivial queue overflow exploit, but it allows me to force very specific nonsense data into the deadline for a new amendment. And when you overflow the deadline field with your special trash can data, what do you get? The deadline flips to 1 second. We're about to make some amendments to the Daedalus block governance, and the shareholders will have only a few seconds for the usual objections and adjustments, allowed delays, and structural votes. What usually takes weeks will be open and closed in 6 seconds. At the start of the next turn, the Trapping and Sons terminal will be ready for Lilith to amend the block's governance. Alright. Well, she's done for now. One person's going to hear her gun. But she's otherwise kind of chilling. This guy's angsty. These guys know nothing. Although, obviously, I want to, like, make sure she's kind of safe, so I might, you know, run her to a corner or something and hide for a bit. Like, put her there, she goes back next turn, right? It's 2 AP each way, that's not a big deal. So you can easily, like, go out and back in every single time. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have you go there, and then, even though it doesn't really matter when I yield you, I'm just going to do that here. I want to have Permanence, see where this guy's going to go. So let's go ahead and look ahead you. You are running that way, and it's going to be really annoying to deal with this, so... The one consideration is the guys who can hear the gunfire. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all guys that I'm like, and then I can make you 5. It's like, I don't really mind you guys hearing that. I'm just going to kill all of you anyway. 6, that one's going to be annoying. Okay, so I don't want that one. But I can go to here. And I think it is very, very likely that no one else hears anything. And we expect to kill all of them with like SMGs and stuff. I actually believe that's going to be the case, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't mind they're all going to hear the gunfire. We're going to kill them all anyway. Decent damage. Yep, so, right, they all turned. That is what is expected here. Good job. Okay. I'm going to have you wait. Oh, he's a really loud sniper rifle. That's right, I forgot. That's going to make this a little bit more annoying. Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm going to put you here. You're going to single target this guy. I'm going to make sure you're not, like, blocking everyone else's line of sight, though, as well. That's kind of valuable. Put you somewhere like this. That should be pretty functional. Not everyone will, you know, end their turn here, but for now it's okay. So, we are going to fight here under JTAC. I'm not going to use my strike zone until it's more important here. I'm going to Iron Grip, and I'm going to Nest as well, just for the most damage possible. And you're going to start getting shot. Decent first shot here. Okay. Yep, I have basically no recoil at all. I forgot about the camera. I should have turned that off. That's my fault. Okay. It's fine for now, though. Good crit. Yep, bunch of ballistic pure damage upgrade is pretty nice. 209 pure damage. Basically doubling my damage due to all the buffs here. I'm going to have you just kind of open up here. That seems fine. No one else hears gunfire, so as they get cleaned up, it's decent. Really big crit. I'm going to have you run up for this then. It will still be inside of JTAC, and that guy's looking real killable here. I cannot have recoil due to trigger vector. If I want some crit chance, I could go for it. Use a marker sights. Honestly, the cooldown's pretty short, and I have 2 charges. Let's go ahead and do that. Just make it easier. Yep, nice crit. Alright, well, you're happy. I don't need to greed for loot here. It's not that important. I think running around here is also not very valuable, so I'm going to make sure I stay out of the camera range, but otherwise... I mean, none of these patrols are going to be close. So I'll put you somewhere with, like, moderate cover where you might be able to pop out and help if it's needed. But I think you're fine. You can end your turn. Kind of wish I'd turn that camera off. It's my bad. It means it is going to send somebody to go investigate that, which is going to be a downside for us, but it is what it is. Yep, I'm going to run her to here, turn off this camera, grab this loot, turn around. Okay, this is going to be a little tight. This might magnet, it might not. It's probably not. Oh, it actually does. I'm huge. Okay, cool. I don't want to get... Oh, right, I don't want to get all the way there. I also don't want to get heard. That's a little bit scary. Okay, you're at 14. I'm not worried. I'm always going before you, so I'm not... this is not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and anticipate you, because I'm curious if you do something else at some other point in time, like the AI sent you or something. Okay, can't see anybody else here. You're done. Yeah, we've got what you want from you, which is start of the terminal, so you're done. I will... Oh, what do we have? We have +2 tally from something. I assume it's this camera seeing one thing, and then maybe another camera got seen somewhere else, and I missed it. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Well, let's throw most of the squad somewhere where they can, you know, defend. I think standing there is fine. That's a spot you can fight from. There's no hacking to do, so he's not really useful here. That's fine. There's a few approaches I can make here, right? One is to be very spread out, so that we always have someone who can fire on a reinforcement chain. The other is to be very grouped up and just be like, well, whatever they do, don't worry, we'll just have all our firepower in the same spot and they can't kill us. I actually might make excursions up this way anyway and start grabbing loot because there's just not much else we have to do. We are going to get guaranteed escalations relatively soon, but for now we don't have them. Also want to make sure I'm not spending too much AP and that I can reload and stuff as needed. Anyway, this is fine. Yeah, I'm not sure where the other 2 tally comes from. I know the camera saw 1. Actually, no. Camera seeing a body is 2, so that's what the tally's coming from. We're +8 this turn, which is exactly what's expected. Yep. We can lower Matrix host stuff, potentially. Alright, first turn. Okay, that guard up here got sent. He chatted. Okay, what do we got? Ooh, reinforcements. Our target is Lilith Limebeer. We put her down like the traitor she is, Seiko, a Sentinel exec. And there's a Cyber playing Bodyguard. Take her out too. We'll clean up the rest after we splatter those 2 on the walls. Alrighty, it is combat time. And they're over there. Okay, wow, you are very tanky. You have a high-quality assault rifle. You have cool-ass shoes. It's a cool look overall. You're very tanky. You're with a Divergent and a Firecom. Firecoms have big assault rifles as well, and decent armor, and yeah, Divergent's just rather tanky, an SMG, and a lot of evasion. Now, their line is pretty good onto Lilith here, so this got pretty exciting pretty quickly. They can walk to there and shoot pretty reliably, so I kind of need to like start in cover, because I can't really... I mean, I can make an absolute ton of noise and just run at this and hope it's good enough. That scares me a little. I don't really want to play it that way. I don't want to run through laser wires twice. Wait, this got... Oh, we turned that one off. Right, so this spot... Yeah, this spot's not great for combat. So you've been sent. You guys are obviously fully angry. And they normally have around 6 action points. Usually it's 2 move points and 4 actual AP. Still, it's a shoot, though. It's enough to shoot. So how do I want to deal with this turn with these like relatively strong enemies? I think standing here is dangerous because I think they can easily spend 3 AP to get there and shoot me. So I've got to break line of sight at the very least. If I get to here, they've got to get all the way to there to shoot. That's still possible. Okay, I'm going to spend another AP hiding a little bit further then. I think they can't get there and shoot me. I think that's actually completely safe. So standing about here is totally reasonable. Raze is sitting in the same spot for this reason. You're not moving. And you're moving, but you're really far away. I think the rest of these guards I don't care about. You could be in danger, depending on what these guys do. I don't want to have my team stuck behind Refract, necessarily. I mean, there's a world where we say, you know what, we're going to run up here, put down Refract, and you're not going to run at this. I could buy that, actually. I'm actually really tempted to go for that play. So I'm going to run here. I'm going to turn off that. I'm going to get Jam Kit back in 2 turns. I'm going to turn off that to make my movements easier as well. And then I'm tempted to put Refract, like, here. And that way Lilith and my Vanguard are very safe. And I think they can't cross enough movement to, like, actually hurt me here. So I'm going to put this Refract down. And, yeah, I've got to, like, run all the way out if I want to shoot, but I think that's fine. We can let them act here because I think we're very safe. I think that's totally functional. So you 2 are fine. You need to move as well. Is this safe? That angle scares me a little bit here. I'm going to spend 1 more action point running up to make sure I'm not endangered. Okay. This should be fine. We should be allowed to let the guards have their turn now. So I can delay him down to 5, but these people are going to be at 9, which means they're all going to have their turns, except for maybe Code. They're all going to have their turn before Code Block is to put down the appropriate, like, Strike Zone or J-Tac. That's going to be a little bit annoying, but I don't have a way around that. So it'll be a little bit tough to deal with this, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think you are definitely safe. I can run now. Actually, yeah, your footsteps aren't loud enough for these guys to hear you. So you can just spend 2 AP getting there, and we can start the second interaction. So you're about to start changing the governance so fast no one can respond. What's the play now? We use Ventago's bioverification rule against them. The created new governance rule, any share that goes without bioverification for 5 years is automatically transferred into a pool for a yearly auction to the highest bidder within the block. I will rewrite the governance to state that I am the sole shareholder allowed to bid for those shares. Proposed? No objections, no adjustments, no restructuring. The crypto chain is being updated with the new governance code. It'll be live very soon. When the shares go up for auction, there will be no bidding war for them. We really hit to break up the Daedalus block? The start of the next turn, the Trapian and Sons terminal will be ready for Lilith to amend the Bloc's governance. Well, she's clearly going to steal all that. Yep. Okay, well, I can leave you here because this wall is safe for me. We'll see if I'm very wrong about what the guards can do, but so far, the rest of the guards don't know anything. And I believe I'm safe from any intrusion from these three, so I will let them run at me. Oh, shoot, you being at 9 was a problem. I needed to delay down to 8. Crud. This guy's going to be stuck out like that. That's a mistake. I didn't do enough due diligence. Also, are you going to be scary running down? Actually, you are going to run down due to the fact that the corpse is here, right? You're going to investigate this corpse. You're going to run like this, but this wall still blocks it. And I think you're not going to have enough AP to shoot us if you come down here. So I'm still not really too worried here. Panzer at 7 is helpful. Code at 5 is helpful. Code block at 5 is at least moderately helpful. I'm tempted to throw early JTAC and put it somewhere like this. I think it's very, very likely about to peek in and shoot that guy. I don't want the circles to overlap, so put it there. I am pretty tempted to strike zone this. I think it's worth it to get to those three, because you're not going to get to move until most of us have to, like, proactively fight you. Okay, you're going to investigate. Yep. But you don't see anything in time, and that just barely blocks his line of sight. Lilith Blade's still 4. We already know what you're doing, which is nothing. Alright, here we go. They're in combat. He's trying to flank. He's going to get around, but he should be out of AP. He is, but he popped a special effect. You're going to take cover instead of fight. Okay. What is your buff? Invulnerability for multiple hits. That is a bit of an issue for me. I'm going to try to stun him. This seems like worthwhile. We can lower his armor. We can make him crit vuln. That just seems like clearly worth doing. And we need to break up your armor. So you need to get killed. Only these two can hear the gunfire. I'm just gonna, yeah. Okay, I need to shoot this guy. And going down to 3 AP no matter what is gonna be the play. Looks like that will get out of one circle into the other. So that should be fine. Out of one into the other. You see me. It is what it is. I can only see you. That's fine. I've already stunned you. It is likely to hold. Although I know high quality enemies can break out of stuns. Also, there we go. We crit, so we get down or on. So we get to lower some evasion and initiative of several people. Only hit the 2, I think, but that's fine. Yeah, down or debuff 2. Okay. Raze has a very good gun. You're going to have you run, of course. If I go to here, I don't see more than one person. Yeah, actually, the last sight there is kind of awkward, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Alright, I'm going to still have you start here. You, of course, deal plenty of damage. But let's clean this up. Alright, I think this kill is worth just cleaning up here overall. Let's spend 2 AP, not more. Down you go. Okay. And if I can keep alerting more guards, I'm happy to, you know, be a little cautious here. That seems like it's an angle that will work. So we'll run you there. And then you block shots no matter what happens, so we'll just kind of... Actually, yeah, and I can't do any yielding, right? So hit the shield once. Oh, yeah, cool. I'm going to have enough action points because of recoup. Nice. Okay. Shield is gone. And now I have 3 AP left. So the question is, do I want to full auto once, guaranteed crit by the way, or single target twice? Well, let's do the numbers real quick. So I can do 320 plus about 100. Or, yeah. So it looks like 3 bullets from the right is not as good as 2 bullets from the left. Full auto can only hit 3 bullets on a single person, and so there's no reason to go for full auto because there's only one person there. So one thing I actually can do as well is use called shot. It gives me crit damage for the shot, which I think is actually pretty reasonable because we're trying to burst this guy down. 390 crit is not bad considering most of it's pure damage here. As we are printing pure damage as character. Ooh, we get the first shred. That's big. His armor gets to drop to 61. I have move points left. I need to... Oh, shoot. I forgot. You're going next, and I expose my Cyber Knight. Shoot. I might take damage here. Okay, I need to run up here, and I need to put in an Overwatch. Hopefully this hits. It should, because I'm... Like, I have perfect accuracy still. But I realized late that I hadn't thought about the rest of the way this turn would plan out. Or pan out. I'm glad you hit. Big crit. Good job. Her turn is over. Alright, Panzer, what you got? Well, you can shoot him, although you have no armor shred with his gun. Which means your better target is going to be going for the Divergent there. And this guy's going to see us. Well, he's just not killable. Like, there's no way his cover's too good. But we can, like, throw down something like Refract and make his life really miserable. So I think it's... Yeah, I think let's go here. Kill the Divergent. It's kind of free. And then I'm really tempted to throw Refract down. Although your initiative roll is so low that I'm not actually worried about you yet. So I'm just going to put you somewhere... Well, I don't want to block all the line of sight, so I'm going to, like, go here or something, which people can spot around. That should be fine. Alright. Yeah, so unfortunately... Okay, can I... I'm going to try to yield enough. Okay, he's also on a basic pistol. Crud. I was trying to find an angle where we could get more armor shred, but no one has good armor shred right now, and so it's just going to be kind of a slow burn here. Alright, well, I'm going to stand you here, which is at least a spot you can shoot from. We're beating them all on initiative, which is good. I'll shoot first, I guess. I will put Iron Grip in for bonus true damage, or pure damage. I will put on Nest for bonus pure damage. I will take one shot. I only get one shot and then one reload. But that crit is still a lot of damage because I did 200 pure damage thanks to everything here. I don't want to shoot Sniper because I don't want to wake the rest of the guards. Alright, then Code gets to do kind of the same thing here. Run down to have at least some line of sight, and then basically relying on a bunch of crit chance stacking and his armor being a little bit sundered to at least get some damage. And yeah, 99 crit chance. That's obviously not going to be... Well, actually, he's spotted. Okay, so he's not going to get stealth crit. You can stealth crit fully alert enemies as long as you are unspotted, but yeah, we're not unspotted here. So I want to shred armor. So again, do I want to single target or multi-target? Sorry, full auto or burst fire. So shred chance is 15%, so I can either hit 3 times or twice. I'd be able to hit 3 times then. Well, actually, I can hit... I can do what? 3 shots? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go here, which gives me... Okay, here's the thought, right? If I full auto, I get hit 3 times, and then I go single target and I get 1. So that's 4 hits. The alternative is to go single target the entire time, and it gives me 3 hits. Like, the odds aren't exactly what that sounds like, but we'll just go full auto to start. We got the shred, that's nice. Basically, if you roll to shred on one of the 3 bullets full auto, the other ones can't shred. And so, like, well, I roll 3 times, but I literally can't shred 2 or 3 times. I can only shred once. Which is why there's, like, a consideration for going burst fire on both. Anyway, this guy is getting quite low. We're going to beat him on initiative. This guy is just not a real concern. We can throw down Refract, though, if we need to make sure we're safe. Other guards have not heard anything. We have no extra tally here. We've grabbed a couple of boxes, which is nice. 2 of them. We are still making progress here. So far, so good. Looks like, I don't know. So I've never actually interacted with someone breaking out of stun. I don't know if it's like on their turn they break it and go, surprise, I'm hitting you now. I just don't know all the details. But I'm going to have Cyberknight go with the SMG, because SMGs have some shred chance. Put her there. That looks playable. I mean, we're just like jamming in this corner. It's kind of funny, but yeah, let's put you here. I mean, you're basically just going to die at this point. We'll just go burst fire. There's another shred. There we go. Your armor is mostly all gone now. We managed to downer these guys, which is kind of funny. Alright. That is steamroll popping on the team. But I'm going to let this guy keep moving, so I'm going to delay here. I will probably put Refract down to make sure it's safe. Let's, yeah, let's just throw Refract, I don't know, something like... How far can he really get on his turn? Not all that far. I'm just going to throw Refract here to make sure we're not, yeah, in any kind of danger. Let's go ahead and see where you're planning on going. Not very far, it turns out. Okay, well, until they're told by the AI to do something, and the AI has not seen any new bodies yet. This guy's going to time out soon, but again, we're chilling for now. You're behind Refract. Nobody's over here who's going to be in danger. You're not going to come around and do anything. This barricade's going to block your initial line of sight. We are fine. You're patrolling. Good for you. You might see a corpse. Nope. That guy's still alive. Code is fine where he is. Lilith, time for round 3. Any share that goes without biofication for 5 years automatically transferred to a pool for a yearly auction where I am the sole bidder. Let me just rewrite that so that those shares are automatically transferred to auction after 1 second instead of the annual timeline. Proposed. No one objects. Adjustments, restructuring, none. Crypto chains being updated with the new governance code. It'll be live very soon. Any share that lacks bifurcation for 5 years will go to auction instantly. And yeah, we are not here to unbind the Daedalus block. At the start of the next turn, the Trapian and Sons terminal will be ready for Lilith to amend the block's governance. Okay, so I am unsure if I have ways of... So I'm going to make a save here, just so that, like, at some other point in time, I can come in and be like, hey, I don't like how I feel about this. I'll overwrite, I don't know, this one. Like, can I just, like, send her to her death or something? I don't really know. But I'm going to play the content outright. Maybe I'll load and, you know, see what happens if I, like, try to make her die. The Firecom is aggroed. I think he's out of action points now. Yeah, I am correct about that. Permanence gets to get... Ooh, does not get line of sight on any of this? I can't... Yeah, I can't make it with the AP that I have. Okay. She can't do anything. I can't reload even. Okay. Well, let's just, like, stand somewhere where you're going to, like, bank 1 AP to be in cover and have high initiative for the next turn. That'll be that. I think that's fine where you are. We know you're standing still. Alright, you're going to go ahead and try to kill this guy. I do want to look for ways to shred him, so I'm going to try to delay until I can use the SMG users like Raise here. Alright, I'm going to have Panzer yield, so that Raise can go first. I think with a reload it's fine. So I'm going to reload. I'm going to get to here. No one else can get the gunfire, that's good news. I'm going to use Flush to lower the armor a little bit. And I think full auto here is correct. Massive crit. Flush lowers his armor a little bit. Not a ton, but some. Panzer is now going to get to try and deal, honestly, very little damage every time, but it is what it is. We will slowly crit this guy down. Spotted, so no special sauce. But again, the crits are pretty good damage, even though it's, you know, heavily resisted. But hey, my crit chance is high. My crit damage is half decent. And you see suddenly, yeah, it's a bunch of ballistic damage that gets, you know, brought quite low. Hacker gets to get line of sight from around that corner. That's great. Down goes the last aggro enemy, and we are happy. So I can safely reload. And I don't know where I want to stand, but I think here is fine. Lilith can reload. She's already had her turn. She reached the terminal. Yep. Wait, I've already done this one, right? Ah, it's clear. Right. I have to wait. Yeah. Okay. Cool. He is fine. He has no reloads to go for, so you're done as well. Alright. And of course, there's no bad guys left, so we're chilling. Lilith can pop the terminal. Any share that goes without a bioverification for 5 years is instantly transferred to an auction where I am the sole bidder. The new governance will state that any share that I hold is exempt from these bioverification governance laws. Proposed. It'll be live very soon. My restricted stock alone is exempt from all bioverification governance rules. This is a hostile takeover of the Daedalus block. Yep, it certainly is. Well, I will yield to make sure none of the guards are doing anything too feisty. Didn't really need a free reload there, but it's whatever. Normal patrols might see a corpse. Nope, they're all behind the little shield. Oh, doesn't quite see the corpse still. Cool. You can take your reload. You can reload all your guns now. And other than one camera that I forgot to turn off before he killed someone, managed to do it quote-unquote stealthily. The AI is none the wiser. You're going to see that corpse? Yep, okay. So he knows that there is a dead guard. He's going to run over and investigate. And he's like, yep, someone's dead. And he's going to start hunting relatively soon. I don't know how long this wall is going to last. It might turn off at the start of next turn, in which case we're going to hope that, well, our initiative roll is going to be higher, which they will be. Leftover AP is functionally saved as 1 initiative, and so I can potentially start the next turn with, turn that off prematurely, with going aggro at the very start and getting some decent damage here. J attack is back next turn as well. It's all going to look pretty solid. You're fine. You're fine. All right. Wall drops. Orders received. Okay, looks like these 2 guards have been, at least those 2 have been woken up. I'm surprised we're still sec level 0. I could have sworn there would be an escalation of some kind, like, with how many turns it's been, but I guess this is guaranteed to not give security escalations. Interesting. Okay, fine. Unfortunately, this thing is annoying here, and it's going to make it a little bit harder for us to do the killing that we want to do. Again, this guy's been woken up, so I care about what he's going to try to do on his turn. I'm going to put J-Tac kind of forward. I'm going to crouch up a little bit. I think if I can get to... Yeah, if I'm here, I can still shoot. I think that is sufficient. So I'm going to crouch to there. I'm in J-Tac. I'm going to Iron Grip. I don't have Strike Zone, but I can shoot. And that's going to be decent damage here. So I'm feeling pretty good about that one. I could have used Empty Lung, I think. I forget what Ness is doing. But I might have been able to Empty Lung to, like, keep the Ness buff up. So probably a bit of a mistake there from me. Oh well. Down goes a guard. CK is getting Tactical Surge. I'm going to turn off that motion field. I'm going to run far enough up that I can kill this guy, which is going to be right there. I guess, to be fair, there's only 2 guards left, so I can start spreading out relatively soon. But for now, we'll just shoot this guy. Should be decent. Don't know if I have down or up or not. Doesn't really matter. Pretty solid damage there. And down you go. Cool. This guy is not going to reach us in time. He's going to come around, but this is going to block his line of sight. And so I'm happy to just chill and do nothing and wait for what happens next turn. He's going on 10. My entire team can delay appropriately behind that one, so I'm not too worried about it. So, yeah, I'm not worried about him running around. So let's go ahead and just delay until he's had his turn. I think Lilith's already done this. Let's double check. Any share except this which I hold requires bioverification every 5 years. So just instantly transfer to an auction where I am the sole bidder. I will propose new governance to require bioverification every second to avoid shares being instantly transferred to the auction floor. I'm sure to get a fair vote. Proposal sent. Some objections. There are shareholders trying, but the timelines are too short. I voted your objections down. Now, adjustments. Restructuring. All too fast. Crypto chains being updated with the new governance code. Every share in the Daedalus block is about to end up in your auction. Only one last thing to do. There is no one to bid them up, so I'll buy them for 1 cent. So next turn, the Trapian and Sons terminal will be ready for Lilith to purchase all of the restricted stock of the Daedalus block. Alright, well, 1 turn to go, and her hostile takeover is done. Let's let the last guard have his turn. Alright, you're going to investigate? You're going that way. Okay. Actually, that's a little bit more dangerous, I think, for this block's line of sight. He's a corpse. Investigating. Okay. And his investigation takes him not very far. There you go. Hunting and done. Okay, let's kill you. Might as well. And in fact, I can be loud because there's no other guards left. So let's go there. I burned 1 more AP than I should have, but it's not a big deal. He's going to die anyway. Pretty good damage. Yep, down you go. Oh, that camera's back. Whatever, it's still worth it. Alright, you can reload. And someone can go start grabbing loot. So I'm going to have you turn off that. And let's start snatching. I don't care about tally anymore. Let's just grab stuff. Yes, there might be like another spawn of enemies at some point, but I'm willing to play kind of risky now. We're done with this in 1 turn. I don't know where the exit's going to be. Figure with no guards left, I can grab loot. High level suppressor. That's cool. Alright. Raze can... you can coordinate a charge, although the timing's now kind of awkward here since we've used so much of this, but I'm going to have him run this way, then probably he's going to run that way. I think that's fine. We'll see if this magnets. It probably won't, but we'll see. Let's go there. It's close. I think I do. Yep. Okay. Great. And then I'm going to have you run towards the next box. That seems fine as well. We'll see if we get some kind of weird security escalation. Obviously, you've had your turn this time. I'm double checking, but I'm pretty sure. Yep. Must wait for another vote. Okay. Expected. We'll leave you there. Turn 6. Early as it could have possibly been. Trigger vector on. It's plus move points. Yep. Put you there. Grab you some loot. Don't need to reload. A little bit of stuff. Sure. Alright. Well, let's do another save just to, like, if you want to play this out this way, if there's, like, other choices to make, we don't have to go too far back. Alright. Slot 10. Alright, Lilith, what's up? Are you sure you want to do this? It is far too late to ask that question. The dice have been cast. You can't reel them back in. I am purchasing the shares now. The auction pool is over 700,000 restricted shares. For under 1,000 UDAs, it's a steal. The Daedalus block is yours. And hundreds of shareholders are emptying or holding empty bags. They're about to discover they aren't even Jupiter citizens anymore. Oh. Reinforcements? May all these fools rot in the soup. It is done. Daedalus block stands, but I now own every single share. Get me out of here. We need to get off-world as fast as we can. We've played Ventago, and they'll be coming for blood. We've got an exit, and it's close. Okay. I will turn off that just to make it a little painless, less painful for everyone. Can my... Yep, you can turn this off. Great. I'll go ahead and knock that down. I think you'll be able to grab this and then also get out, so I'm not going to be too worried about the pathing here. Okay. Not very high value, but it's fine. Alright, we can start sending our team home. So yeah, this map is, I guess, hard-coded to not give regular escalations, which I think is very reasonable. Anyway, everyone's going to make it no problem, so off we go. So yeah, Lilith's hostile takeover. We definitely helped her with that one. Oh, he might not make it on this turn. That's going to be a little bit annoying. Oh well. I'm sure he'll be fine. We're not going to get him killed, right? My poor hacker way over there. With no buffs on. Not even sure he makes it next turn. He probably has enough action points for it. Alright. Well, you're done. It's turn 7. There are no guards for the AI to tell anything to, and this one does not escalate. So, we made it downstairs without anything special going on, and so we're chilling. I have a date with a shuttle at a private spaceport. It's time to go, my friends. Time to vanish. Well, we helped a bad person do a bad thing. What a night. There were big winners and big losers. Feels good to be on the right side of it, doesn't it? You know, for me, Daedalus Bloc became a hell of a prison. It became a hell prison. Okay. For the longest time, I've had nothing but this dead weight chained around my neck. Every member of my family was killed because of it. I've been in hiding for years, running and hiding from it. Even someone didn't understand, because he wasn't there. Couldn't remember a thing except before the block. All I had was his hate, anger, and vengeance, chaining me to this prison. I couldn't go back, I couldn't roll back the clock, but I didn't want to anyway. You gave me a way forward. You trusted me when I needed it most. You were my partner through it all. I want to thank you for that. Not just for all the riches and shares, but for me. And I want you to come with me. Come off-world with me. Let's find the new way forward together. Right now, the solar system is opening up. There aren't any independent players out there. It's only the major megacorps. We can do more than fight for scraps in this dying world, raking the old hates over the coals. Come with me. Be my partner. We can go find that new frontier. I need that to break the cycle of the city and find that new again as partners. I think we can be more than partners, the two of us. I can't make the call right away. The night is still running here. Dying world or not, I'm not done here yet. I'm going to delay briefly. That way I can make another save and probably restart this. A lot has happened in a short number of hours. I know you need to think, weigh it all. But for now, we've done everything we can tonight. Now my private shuttle is waiting. I need to get off-world immediately and reach my hidey hole in orbit. Can I ask you to come with me now? Because my disappearance needs to be as invisible as possible. I know you have affairs to wrap up, final decisions to make, a future to weigh. I will stay in orbit for a month, and you can join me anytime you are ready. A timeline event for our final decision of retiring off-world with Lilith has been added. If we plan to join Lilith in space and retire, we have 1 month to wrap up our terrestrial affairs. So you've destroyed the Daedalus Bloc to be free. No, it's alive and well, but I am the Daedalus Bloc now. You must be the single largest shareholder of restricted stock in Jupiter. Probably, but there are a few families with combined holdings that exceed the block's share count. Either way, it makes a very dangerous and very wanted person. We'll escort you to the shuttle? Sure. I'll feel safer with your crew at my back. I always have. Once I'm settled in orbit, I'll be in touch. Raise levels up. We get a decent payment. We get some XP. It's functionally a pitched battle. Sure, yeah. We have the ability to retire off-world. Got a good amount of stuff from loot. Cool. Let's make one more save. We're holding this one for making other choices in the prior mission, although there's not that much that changes, really. I guess we'll save here on slot 6. And let's go ahead and retire. Let's do it. I spared no expense to secure a private line from the Gleamer, so I can properly try to convince you to join me up here. And then on Mars, I have no intention of staying here in Earth's orbit. If you haven't already decided to join me, let me make the appeal again. I trust you more than anyone else I know. You've been a hard carry, executing my plan through the most dangerous knotholes. And now comes the real point of execution. So far, we've just secured the funding and the power. My control of the Daedalus block gives us a constant flow of revenue and the power to demand respect. But it isn't my endgame, or our dream. We're going to start a new megacorp, a true space corporation. All the megacorps are in a so-called space race, but they are terrestrial entities fighting over terrestrial things and competing over this already dead world. We will create a true space corporation without a single citizen or business subsidiary on Earth. But the other megacorps and players aren't going to roll over easily. That's why I need you and your strength. Okay, Mirage, are you going to come with us? Yeah, we need you too. I know Permanence didn't pull this off on our own. I don't want to see what we've built together broken up. This is a hard decision. This is a one-time decision for your face. Will Mirage retire with you or not? You'll need someone like me up there in space. If we're founding a new corp, you're going to need a silver tongue. You know, I'll be over your shoulder for this one, Mirage. We've come this far together. I'm not walking away from this next adventure. What about my team? Will they come with us? Some of them can. We can't take everyone, and they might not all want to leave this world. Of course, there is a seat for Mirage. There are seats for 6 other mercs in the shuttle. If you retire, your merc company will split up. Some of your mercs may choose to come with you, while others will find their own paths forward. The mercs that will join you will have the highest loyalty, at least 6+, and the highest level as well. The ending for all mercs will be based on their story choices, backstory, relationships, loyalty, and level. Okay, they're going to come with. It's time for us to join you on your Gleamer. You must now confirm your choice to retire. Once you retire, you will reach the endgame screen. You can still access your safe house, but the game will be in a read-only state, where you can view your team, class builds, and appearances, but play no further. This is a good time to save into a save slot if you want to be able to continue to play this game in the future. No automatic save slot is made for retirement. Once you retire, there is no way to undo the choice except to load a save slot. I have made the save slot. So it's fine. This is it. Time to hang up our spurs and retire to our next life. We're ready to join you amongst the stars. Give us the launch pad details and we'll be on the next shuttle. We'll gather the team and deliver the news. Always wanted to step onto a Gleamer. Not so sure about Mars, but I know we will make it work. Time to say some goodbyes. I'll see you soon. To our future. Permanence and a select few joined Lilith Limebeer in Earth's orbit on a non-corporate Gleamer. From there, a slow transport brought the fugitives to the red planet Mars and a temporary home inside the Jupiter Corp colony, Mars 2. It's kind of funny, the Jupiter colony on Mars, but yeah, okay. Rich beyond any Earther's dream, Permanence and Lilith began to find their new frontier, using their Jupiter connections to snatch up land and mining rights, break ground on a colony, fund a fleet of ships, and lay the groundwork for a new megacorp. On Mars, Mirage became the face behind the curtain, operating below the level on the new world to cut deal after deal, paving the way for the new megacorp colony, fleet, and future. Megacorp colony, fleet, future. On Mars, Code, our hacker man, led the effort to build and secure a new standard of quantum network, the kernel of which became the infamous Citadel, and the backbone of the interplanetary matrix known as the Root. That's cool. That seems quite powerful. You're really good at your job. On Mars, Reyes took command of the Milsec forces arrayed to protect the fledgling colony and frontier, and became a respected but feared general. Reyes always remember the crazy nights out clubbing with Code. Yeah, good job. Among the colonies and planets, Code Bloc became one of the first interplanetary headhunters. Neat. Willing to hunt a bounty at any length, distance, or measure. Code Bloc has become obsessed with collecting old world weapons and now boasts an interesting collection of oddities and antiques. Rhino never settled completely after her second Cyberknight squad and decided to try her luck in a new city, heading south toward the Atlantis Sprawl. Yeah, I don't think she had high enough loyalty to go with us. I think you need loyalty of 6 or higher to go, so... or maybe she will never go because of who she is. I'm not sure, but it's my first time doing this, right? Operating from Mars, Centaur took her own path and roved into space. Oh yeah, I don't think Centaur had... Well, we did do Cuban Part 1, I'm not sure. Took her own path and roved into space. As an independent captain, she helped establish way stations, dockyards, and colonies as far out as Neptune. Wow. Centaur never forgave herself for failing her brother Marcus and not being able to find him. To be fair, the other missions in this storyline aren't in the game yet, but obviously makes sense that it would go this way. Almost as if by magnetism, Augur was drawn into another push with the Bloc family. Right, this is the guy we rescued. The death of Johann Brock was never enough to pay for the loss of his mother, and Augur exacted a heavy toll in blood before going on the run again. Augur reconciled with Nick Edwards, but they must keep their revitalized relationship a secret from any Warner Braun eyes. For all the scars and shots Augur took, she resented how it shook out in the end and rarely spoke of the Cyberknight. Yeah, okay, so low loyalty didn't come with us. It makes total sense. That's too bad. Amnesia returned, and Deadeye was lost for a year before she stumbled into a clinic, shot through, and dying. Deadeye survived the night, and whatever happened during that time away settled a new peace in her mind. Deadeye was well aware of how Permanence made out in the end, and always felt cheated. Damn, okay. Not happy about this one. Jillian initiated a personal quest to eradicate and dismantle the criminal syndicates perpetuating snatch scams on unsuspecting victims. Right, she's the one that we rescued from servitude, functionally. The first target was a street-level tech house that snared her before Mirage effected a rescue. Eventually, Jillian discovered the truth of the UNA termination and Warner Braun's betrayal. Jillian holds a deep grudge against Permanence now and will never reconcile. Yep, that totally makes sense. There's no chance to reconcile the storyline yet, but that totally makes sense. And so we retired. Permanence and a select few joined Lilith on Mars, a temporary home inside. That's us. 1942 turns, flexible difficulty, sure. You can just barely. The little corner right there, you can see what the difficulty settings were. Okay, fine. Yeah, 30 missions. That's actually fewer than I thought. We only played 30 missions. Okay, sure. Maybe for her, she wasn't on every mission. I could see that. 5 limit breaks, cool. Did 1,000 damage in a turn, or 1,000 damage in a hit on one person. 200 kills, jeez. Stealth missions completed, 30. Not sure that's true, but okay. Maybe she was unseen, I'm unsure. Team career scores. Yep, so this is all the, I think, baseline achievements that exist in the game, and the ones that we had completed on this run, so that's cool. If you want to, slowly, read them, feel free. But otherwise, spike in APU, do 10 missions. A lot of these are not a big deal. We never recruited a starting soldier because these weren't in by the time we recruited a starting soldier. Here's the face. Obviously didn't go on any missions. So, of course, Zach went with us. Ray's went. 28 missions, 28 unseen. Again, I think it's kind of bug, but whatever. 400 kills, right? More than the Cyberknight, because, of course, he's a higher damage class. 4 limit breaks, 300 damage in a turn. Code went on a lot of missions, because, of course, he's going on the hacking missions, so that's a lot there. Not a whole lot of kills. Doesn't matter. He did spike 43 CPUs, though. Right, he went with us as well, right? So Cyberknight went, the Face went, the Gunslinger went, the Hacker went, Code Block went. Decent number of kills overall. He had only one Legwork, kind of wild actually, that there were so few Legworks that he got sent on because he's always on the main missions. Centaur, I would like to see their actual stats here, but it's fine. She did go to Mars, but eventually moved around. Sure. This guy probably had low. Okay, he did a very similar thing here with Jonas then, right? Yeah, he got old wood weapons. This guy is just collecting weaponry. Okay, fine. Rhino ended up just, never settled. Sure. We didn't hear anything from her, did we? I don't think she had any slides here. So she had nothing here. Okay, fine. He was, yeah, I guess he eventually resented me, although, I don't know, we saved him, so I guess he didn't get to go with us, so he's mad. Whatever. We actually did dismiss her. That's right. We dismissed her. Empty score list. She never did anything. We freed her and then left her. And then, of course, yeah, she learned that one of the reasons she got kind of fired in the first place. She had no story here. That's fine. She wanted barely any missions. She has a story built in, and yeah, we made it out in the end, and she didn't get anything, so it's fine. Lilith was technically in the roster for a bit. Of course, she's doing just fine herself. Cool. So there's that. We can look at the safe house real quick and just kind of double check who in fact was loyal. Yep, your knight was retired. Safe house is locked. We can kind of sort by loyalty though and double check anything that you might have missed. I'm griefing. Where's loyalty? Why can't I see loyalty? Can we actually not sort by loyalty? I guess we can't, huh? Oh well. All right. Well, obviously CK was loyal. The Face was loyal. Raze was loyal. Code was loyal. Code Block was not loyal. Interesting. He wasn't loyalty 6+, but he went with us. Centaur was only at 40. Okay, fine. Sparklight's only at 40. Rhino's only at 40. Upsell was at 70, so she would have made it, but didn't have any slides. He's down to 30, so not very happy. And yeah, none of these guys had any loyalty because we barely did anything with them. Alright, well, that was fun. I quite enjoyed that. I thought it was a cool storyline. I may get around to seeing what happens if we like try to get her killed or something. I'm not sure what happens there. But we've officially retired Permanence Plus. The face class is coming out relatively soon. I'm going to guess within the next week. They're still going to do some AI fixes. They are going to add another class at launch, which is going to be in about 6-ish weeks in June. But we'll probably do one more run through to about this point in time during early access with whatever new changes they make, and then we'll do another one with the actual launch, and hopefully a lot more completed storylines. So I will see you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.